Hi guys, Mark here. Welcome. Today we're tackling a unique key fob design which is also tied in a unique, interesting way. For the supplies, we need a single length of paracord 7 feet long. We're going to need some hardware in the form of a rope thimble, a keyring, and a marble. As a tying aid, I made a mandrel out of a vitamin container. So this is a vitamin bottle that contains drinking tablets like these. The length of my mandrel is 3 inches, the diameter is an inch, it is hollow, and I attached a rubber band onto each side. Scissors as well as a lighter are our final two supplies. To begin our project, we fold our cord in half. Just below the middle point of our cord, we tie a lanyard knot. This way, we form a loop as well as our first decorative knot. Before we remove slack out of our loop, as well as install the rope thimble, we try to even out the two ends a little bit. So in this case, this one is a bit longer, so I'm going to travel through my knot from my end into the loop. So the long end came into this part of my loop. So I'm going to pull the other part into my knot, through the knot, into the short end. The two ends are almost even. I reduce the size of my loop even further, bringing slack into the two ends. So again, this end is longer. So I'm going to pull slack into the short end. So the goal here is to have two ends which are about even, a nice looking loop or a rope thimble, and a nice looking knot. We now tie our second decorative knot. This one is probably the most challenging out of the three, but it is still very manageable, especially due to the use of our mandrel. So simply follow along, it shouldn't be too hard. Grab the two ends, pass them through your mandrel. Bring the lanyard knot right next to the mandrel, then pass your two ends under the left rubber band. These two cords should be about opposite on the mandrel. Grab an end, wrap it around a little bit, passing your cord under the right rubber band, like this. Take the other end, repeat. So, around your mandrel a little bit, under the rubber band. These two cords should again be about opposite on the mandrel. Grab one of the ends, pass over 3 towards the left. So, wrapping around, over 1, over 2, over 3, then pass under the rubber band. Grab the other end, this one on the right, repeat. So wrapping around, over 1, over 2, over 3, then passing under the left rubber band. Again, these two cords should be about opposite on the mandrel. Grab one of the ends, pass over 3 towards the right, pass your cord under the rubber band. Grab the other end, repeat. Over 3 towards the right, under the rubber band. Grab one of the ends, start a sequence of under-over, traveling from right towards the left, under, over, under, over, under, over, finally completing with an under. The under is under a strand coming out of the mandrel. Grab the other end, repeat. So an under-over sequence, starting with an under, then we continue with an over, then an under, over, under, over, then we finish with an under on the left. This under is again under a strand coming out of the mandrel. Now remove your rubber bands. Your knot is tied. When we remove the mandrel out of the knot, it's time to tighten it up. First, very slowly pull, removing some basic slack. Tie the two ends together temporarily, just so that they don't slip into the knot. Then, very gradually, remove this slack here, in between our first knot and our second decorative knot. So this is done by pulling one of the cords into the knot, running the slack through the knot, into one of the ends. Do the same thing with the other cord. Again, pulling the slack into the knot, through the knot, into one of the ends. So this is the first pass of tightening. Now the knot doesn't look like much, but it's important that you keep it loose. So try to loosen it up a bit, make it look a bit more even. Then repeat. So again, pulling one of these cords into the knot, pulling some slack through the knot, out into one of the ends. Then do the same thing with the other cord. So keep gradually tightening up your knot, trying to get it to look even. When you're happy with the look of your knot, roll it under a plank. This makes a huge difference. We now tie our final knot, the monkey's fist knot. To do this, we're going to be using both of our strands. Start with one. Make 2 sets of turns. So this is one set, then the other one across our first set. grab the other end, pass it through the center of the knot, like this. So diagonally through our knot, from the bottom to the top left. Insert your cord, start wrapping another set with your second cord. This one starts at the bottom, comes up through the top, and so on. When you have 3 passes both at the front and at the back, the 2 ends come out here. Now all we need to do is slowly gradually tighten up our knot. So we start with one of our ends, go through the entire knot. You really need to do this as gradually as possible. As you can see, I'm paying quite a bit of attention to keeping my strands lined up, one next to the other. Then the other end, so this one, so this is one pass of tightening on my monkey's fist knot. I'm going to keep doing this 1 to 2 more times. So again, starting at one end, going through the knot into one of the ends. Slowly removing slack out of my knot. So something like this. When done, trim the ends, melt them, Lastly, I add in a keyring. So guys, this concludes our tutorial. Thank you for joining me, enjoy your key fob, and see ya next time.